Good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody. I hope you are well on this lovely Thursday evening. It's been raining today. We didn't think rain was going to take place, but it's been raining today over here in London. How has the weather been in your neck of the woods? And I hope you are all doing well. First thing I want to ask you all is, have you all booked your ticket for the up-and-coming Women in Business event? Men are welcome to come as well. Women in Business event, which is taking place this Saturday at the Holiday Inn in Kensington. We've had hundreds of people registered. We've had about 30 people booked for VIP. It's going to be an amazing event. And we're going to have 17 speakers on stage, inspiring and empowering you to be the best version of yourself all day long. And it's absolutely free to attend. All you need to do is go to the website on the bottom of this video, which is www.desoconnors.com. Go along there, fill in your details. It'll take you 10 seconds, and then we'll send you your free tickets. We're going to have so many different speakers covering vast subjects that can improve your life as well. You're going to have people talking about social media, empowerment, women in business, speak on stage, how to be paid as you sleep, how to become an expert, and how to get free leads, how to use your proper CRM, how to generate leads, how to improve yourself personally and professionally, how to get rid of that stuff that you've got going along. I interviewed Fred Osei yesterday. He's going to be covering imposter syndrome. And I've got some other speakers that are coming over from, I think I've got 3 USA speakers that are coming over as well. So listen, you've got to be there. It's the event you need to be at on Saturday. It's at the Holiday Inn in Kensington. The nearest station is High Street, Kensington. Do not go to the other one. It's High Street, Kensington. That's the one you want to go to. And the hotel is in a couple of minutes from there. Now, our next speaker is a very good friend of mine. I remember when she first spoke on stage at my event, for the first time, she was nervous, and you know, I remember her going on stage, and I can't get her not to speak at my event since then. So she's been speaking at every single of my event to date. And some people that go on stage for the first time, they're nervous and they just deal with it. But this woman, Margaret Thorley, who I'm going to bring on stage now, when she came on stage, she owned the stage. She rocked it, and the audience actually adored and loved her. And since then, I've seen her grow in her business, in her stature, and developing her business speaking profession even better. So without further ado, good evening, the lovely Margaret Thorley. How are you doing this evening, ma'am?
Thank you so much. Good evening. Good evening. Thank you so much for that intro. I feel really, really good. Thank you so much. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that very much the first time I went on stage. Oh my God, yes. But I love what you said, and up to today, I start keeping my heart. You're the next Les Brown.
Oh, yeah.
The woman version, you said.
Woman version, yeah, the female version of Les Brown. Or the, yes. or the one and only Margaret Thorley. So Margaret Thorley. So, yeah. But no, it's been good. I mean, lockdown hasn't helped, but you know, you're here, and that's the main thing. And you're speaking on Saturday, and yeah. So the subject tonight is be fearless and bold in business. So before we really get into that, tell everybody, who is Margaret Thorley?
Margaret Thorley, she's an entrepreneur, a fierce entrepreneur, an award-winning business coach, trainer, mentor, and may I say a speaker on Des O'Connors show.
Should have said that first, actually, not at the end, but it's fine. No, that's great. That's great.
I got it. So which I'm looking for. So yes.
Oh, she seems to have frozen there. So as she's frozen, I'm going to continue. Oh, she's back now. Are you back? Yeah. Oh, you just froze for about 5 seconds now. So we didn't get the last 5 seconds, Margaret. Oh. Don't you just love technology? That you just love that? So let's see if we can get Margaret back on. Spare me a second. Oh, she's gone. Oh, it's just me then. Oh, well, let's see if we can get her back. I'm not sure what's happened there. I'm sure she'll come back. So let me just talk about the event. And it's going to be the Women in Business event in the day. And then in the evening afterwards, those of you that may not know me, may know that I'm bringing out my new women shoes brand, Des O'Connor Shoes. And I'm going to be, for the first time, sharing live on stage, and it's going to be live streamed as well, all my 5 pairs of my shoes. It's the first time I'm going to be sharing this publicly online and virtually. And shoes are going to have a different twist. They all have a different theme. I'm not going to say too much about that, but what I'm holding in the evening after the Women in Business event is a catwalk audition competition, where we're going to be, myself and a team of judges, we're going to be selecting the winner to be the feet and the foot, the feet, legs, knee, ankles, legs, you name it, toes of my shoe brand, because obviously I'm bringing out my shoes and I need somebody to be able to wear them. So we're having a catwalk model audition in the evening, and that's going to go on until 2 a.m. and it's going to be an after party, and that's going to start about, I don't know, 7, I think 7ish, the doors are going to be opening for that, for us to start. There's going to be a red carpet, and also, you know, you can take pictures, so come. And there's going to be lots of cameras, lots of pictures. Dress up and come there looking your best. And what good timing is that to lead in? To get your tickets, go to desoconnorsmodels.com. Margaret, you disappeared. You okay now?
I'm okay. I don't know what happened. Everything just new technology.
Technology. Well, you better talk fast before you go again. So, so who's Margaret for? You were saying that you're an entrepreneur, business coach. So who is your ideal client then, Margaret? For those of you that are watching this now, who is your ideal client and what problems do you solve for them?
Okay, the ideal clients is right now anybody who wants to start off their own business, that they kind of fearful to start their own business, i.e. most of the people, sometimes they're kind of worried the financial side of it, and say, so how am I going to start this business? I've just been made redundant. I've got family. I'm a lone parent. So what I do is giving them 7 practical steps how for you to start your business with zero finance, because that's what I've been training the single fathers and lone parents and 50+ women that we work with within the community. And the reason I chose to speak on being bold in business is that I wrote a book called Elephant in My Stomach Instead of Butterflies. And when I wrote that chapter, it was my journey. As much as I kind of set up so many businesses, from a market trader to a publican, own my own pub, to retail, but I really battled with fear. Fear was a major thing. And most of my businesses, apart from the pub, I kind of start them up with low finance or zero finance. And so, yes, and from that chapter, I realized, my God, I've got something here. So I then bring the chapter, thanks to you, and turn it into a training program. And I've been running that training program for the last kind of 7 years. And I've seen that program, it's called Conquering Your Fear, Starting Your Own Business. So I kind of take you all the way back and knock out all your limiting beliefs, because sometimes it's not fear actually that kills business. It's the limiting beliefs that you carry along with you. And I hear you yesterday said that the brain, if you tell it I can't do it, then you can't do it. So what we do with that training is that we actually take you to bring it up to say, yes, you can. And also I give you steps how to start your business with zero finance. To give an example, during the COVID-19, we trained all the way through, and I was training some single fathers, women, and into business startups. Our business startup is normally for 6 weeks, and we work very closely with the job center. So you can just imagine the kind of client group that kind of comes into us, literally zero finance. So during the COVID-19, I trained about 25 women, and out of them, about 10 went into business, zero finance. And one of the best one I can actually tell you is a lady who finished just as COVID-19 hit, just as that. And I work with them to register their company as well. As soon as she finished registering the company, COVID-19 came in. A week later, she rang me. She said, Margaret, where I live, there's so many lone parents, there's no food, they're struggling and everything. I want to do something about it. So I said, okay. I said, have you got your company registration? He says, yeah. I said, now I want you to go to all the supermarkets around your area. I said to her, I said, go and ask them for food. First she thought, huh? I said, just go and ask them for food. Tell them what you want to do with the food, what's happening within your community. I said to her, I guarantee you will get the food. And a day later she rang, she said, you won't believe it. I've just been called to go and pick up some food. Just been called to go and pick up, and they're delivering the food. And so throughout the COVID-19, the first lockdown, she did that. So as soon as the first lockdown was lifted up, one of the church got to know about her. They gave her a hall to run kind of like a soup kitchen for young people to come and eat. And then by the second lockdown, when they lifted that up, the community, they actually gave her a building to kind of zero finance.
Wow.
To run a proper food bank and also provide food for you. Zero. And yeah, so I kind of teach people that way, say, just take the action. Take the action. So that's what we've been doing through the COVID-19 lockdown. So my ideal clients is really right now, because a lot of people being made redundant, and we saw that our training kind of changed, in terms of the business stuff. So we had loads of people that come in who's been made redundant, or they're on furlough and all that kind of thing. And I taught them and walked them all the way through. And one of them today actually phoned me, and she kind of said, started her own business as a childminder. I was like, oh my God, again, zero finance. She's used what she's got, so that's what we do.
Brilliant. So how did you get started in your business? How did you get started in it? Because you didn't just wake up and say, that's what I'm going to do. How did you get started in that?
Well, what happened is I was facing redundancy. And that was my second redundancy. And I said to myself, I can't go through that again. I find it was stressful, because I'm coming from, when my friends laughed at me, because I'm coming from running my own business from a market trader, owning my own pub, to retails. And then I lost my business, then went to work for an organization, and as a business coach, mentor for single parents, single fathers. And after 8 years being there, redundancy twice, I thought, no, that was stressful. The first one was stressful. This second one, I said, no. So I thought, you know what, Margaret, you've run businesses before. You have got the foundation already. Yes, you have not run a charity before, but that should be okay. And from the time I kind of talked to myself, I'm going to start my own business, and that's where it all started. So I remember making the decision, and I was so fearful, because again, like everybody else, because I didn't have the money. And I've got 2 young children. I've got a mortgage, and I'm thinking, how am I going to do that? But when I said to myself, I'm going to do it, I know I can do it. And that was it. So while through the redundancy was going through, I started looking into fundings. So I started looking at how to write funding. So when all my friends, they were sitting there chatting away, I'm writing funding application form. And that was my first time ever. And it was so amazing, because as I submit the funding application form, I'm waiting for my redundancy letter to come in. And I'm like, wow. And about 2-3 weeks later, As I opened my door, I saw the redundancy letter, the funding letter. I looked at that. I looked at that. I know who you are, so I'm going to put you there. It's redundancy. And I opened the funding letter, and then I was so pleased. And they said it was my first ever writing a funding application form. And they said, we're so pleased, we'd like to award you the funding. And that's how I started. And yeah, started building the company 10 years later. I'm still in business, training single fathers, lone parents, and yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So you must have experienced some barriers along the way that when you started your business. Tell everybody, you know, what were the barriers and how did you overcome them?
One of the biggest one for me, being dyslexia, it was massive for me. That was a massive fear for me, because it was like, okay, when I was doing the retail, you come in, you pick up your handbag, your shoes, you take my money, you go. But here I am now. I would have to send out emails. I'll have to communicate with funders. So for me, my barrier was the dyslexia, the spelling, the grammar, you name it. It was one of those. But what I then did at the time, I got myself a mentor whom I worked previously, because he was made redundant as well. He was a business coach where I was working. So he was already aware of my dyslexia. So I contacted him and I says, look, I'm starting this business, but I'm really worried about being dyslexic. I'm worried about writing letters, emails and everything. And he was so fantastic. What he then did for me to overcome that barrier was he did some templates, emails, but because he's already worked with funders before and everything, so he did some templates for us, like 10 of them. So all I need to do was just fill in what I needed to fill in. And sometimes if I'm doing bigger write-ups, he will say, come on, Margaret, I'll check it for you before it goes. So he was really helpful on that side of it. But what I learned through that journey was just to do it. All right, just literally just start. Because when I got the funding, the first one, and I thought, you know what, let me get a project manager. So I got a project manager. So I said to them, look, we've got this funding. It was a European social funding at that time, and it was a big funding. I ain't got a clue what they were talking about on the letters. I just didn't. So I got the project manager and we went for a meeting, and I sat there and she was just laughing, and she was laughing and laughing. And she looked at me, I don't know how you got this funding, she said to me. She said, you're supposed to do the budget on euro. You did it on pounds. I said, well, I'm English, so what am I going to do on euros? I'm going to do it in pounds. And she looked at me and she laughed. And she said, how did you get it? Because your grammar, your spelling. But then when she relaxed, she says, I know why you got the funding. It's because you wrote it as you were telling a story. So it was easy to read. So it was easy to understand as well. You can feel the emotion, because she said, I can feel the emotion as I'm reading it. Now I know why you got the funding. And over the years, I kind of start practicing writing a lot more funding application form. Yes, so for me to overcome the barriers, being dyslexia, was definitely to have a mentor and not to be ashamed. Where many years ago, I was ashamed of being dyslexia and everything. But during this journey, I realized I didn't have to. You know, in fact, the funders were so understandable, because the first thing I do, hi, I just want to call you to tell you, you're going to get some serious emails from me. And they say, well, I said, I'm dyslexic, but hopefully you can understand them. And they would just burst out laughing. And they would say, you know what, thanks for letting us know, but don't worry about it. So for me, those was the steps that I had to put to overcome. And as soon as I got that right, the rest was quite easy to follow.
Fantastic. What a story, and inspiring as well. And it gives people hope as well. So those of you that are on there that thinking that you're not in the best place, you know, there's always a way around. There's always a way, and it all depends on, first of all, what you're telling yourself, and you know, who you have around you as well, and believe that you're gonna achieve what you want to achieve as well. So that's really, really great. So how has this shaped you up to be the woman you are today then?
Oh, definitely challenged me a great deal, because also, as I share my story, I think what made the business to be so successful, because to be in business in 10 years and also to hold a job center contract, not just once, but twice. And then went on to win a lot more fundings and everything. And to be at the top of my game, I'm down to earth trainer. I would tell them my story and what made it so successful. And the program that we do, Conquering Your Fear, Starting Your Own Business, that's embedded with all our programs. And all that does is it's like a personal development. Because if I get you to believe in yourself, that way you are able and understand that you can set up that own business. So I tell them my story. I'm a single parent, I'm dyslexic, and I write my own funding application forms, so I know you can do it. So over the years, I just build up on that and expand. And also I've developed a training on being dyslexia and how to overcome your dyslexia in business. So that has helped me a great deal. And because of that as well, be who you are, know who you are in business. Do what you say you're going to do. Be of integrity. That is so important. So when I'm working with my partners right across the board or whoever they are, if we say we're going to train 50 lone parents, within 12 months, we are going to hit that target. And also we make sure we treat our clients that comes from the job center as individual, not a number. So we make sure we treat them with respect. They are individual, and we can support them as best we can through coaching, through mentoring, and repeating the whole word. Yes, you can. Yes, you can start that business with zero finance. And I think that's what places us where we are 10 years later. I'm still in business.
Fantastic. That's really amazing. Wow. What an inspiration you are. And the thing is, we've had some comments on the chat. We've had Rachel, Leah Bailey. She's saying, hi, Des. And she says, dyslexia is really not easy. I take my hat off to you, sis. It's very hard. I passed my degree and I can't believe I did. Law degree, she said. Well done. And yep. And then she says, I know you're paying so well. So thank you, Rachel, for that comment. So, you're just inspiring somebody already, Margaret, which is really, 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 really good. And, I'm going to share this in all the groups and everywhere else as well. So please share this in your sort of network as well. So those of you that have just tuned in, this is Margaret Thorley. She's one of my speakers that's going to be speaking on Saturday at my eighth Women in Business event, which is taking place at the Holiday Inn, Kensington. And it's going to be an all-day event. Margaret's one of the speakers, as well as another 17 speakers all day. I have been quoted as being crazy to put so many speakers in one event, but I'm not going to allow other people's limiting beliefs to be my focus and to be my vision. Because if someone said to me, you can't do it, what that means is they really can't do it, and they're pushing their stuff onto me. And I'm saying, well, no, I can do it. I've done, this is my first one. Let me be me. And I'm saying, no, you can't do it, Des. Come over here with us, over here with the ones that don't want to do these big events. So I get it. And I'm not saying that to brag to people. I'm just saying that to let you know that, remember, when anybody has any limiting beliefs and they think, oh, they can't achieve X, Y, or Z, and they push that onto you, that is their limiting beliefs. It's their fear. It's their stuff. And if you have a choice to take that on board or not, and let them be whoever they are. I mean, I never get into discussions about COVID with people and the vaccine, because everyone has their own opinion. I believe there's not a right way or a wrong way. It's what you want to do. But when someone says to me, oh, there's going to be another pandemic, I'm saying, well, how do you know? Really? When is that? Because no one knows. No one's just got opinions. And the opinions are based on their beliefs of what they've been coming on board. So I don't get into the black and the white of it. I'm saying, look, if you don't want to take it, don't take it. If you think there's going to be another lockdown, so be it. I don't get into it. And that's what I'm saying about, I mean, this year, I suppose you most probably agree, Margaret, that this year and last year, you know, it just made you see a lot of people are angry, anxious, scared, all these emotions that's coming out on social media, expressing their views on it. And people have fallen out over it, fighting, family members not talking, and the list goes on, all because of the choice that somebody wants to make. And that's all it's about. It's somebody choosing what they want to do with their life, which doesn't affect anybody else as well.
For us, again, I agree with you. I don't get into those fights and those arguments, but during the COVID-19, I actually worked with single fathers and single parents. I saw the lockdown, how it affects them, how stressful it was, the home. So I kind of focus onto those things other than what people are saying out there. And it was tough for a lot of the single fathers out there. It was tough for a lot of them lone parents and even the women there, because when you got children and you got one laptop, you're not going to worry about the other stuff that's going on, because they're so busy worrying. And for us, because the work we were doing, and plus we hold a very big contract at the time, which was a European social funding contract, we couldn't get into those arguments, because I know I got 25 lone parents. They worried about gas, they worried about electricity, because I saw my training completely change, not just focusing training them into business startup or everything else. I'm actually contacting the schools. Have you got a laptop? I got a lone parent who haven't. I'm contacting the gas and electric and says, you know, I've got a lone parent who haven't got gas and electric. Can you give them a discount? You know, can you connect? Can you do this? So for me, I kind of would rather focus on what is happening right now to the people out there. Like you said, this is your choice, whether you take it or you don't take it. So I try not to focus on that and focus on the help out there that I can give to people, the support that they need.
Fantastic. Well, listen, Margaret, thanks for your time today. It's been, as always, been inspirational, informative, and loving as well. How can people get hold of you?
Right, they can go to our website, www.hnrtrainingprofessional.co.uk.
Right, let me just put that in the comments for you so people can connect with you. 1 second.
Yeah.
You love it when your computer just wants to just freeze.
Do its own thing today.
I don't believe that. I had it up a minute ago and it disappeared. All right, I'll add it afterwards. So
yeah, that's fine.
www.hnrtrainingprofessional.co.uk. Is that H and then AND? R.
So yeah, it's the WHR training professional.co.uk.
Brilliant. Okay. Okay. Well, thank you.
But if they just type Margaret Foley, our company will come up instantly.
Brilliant. Well, Google Margaret Foley, everybody, because Facebook seems to be freezing on me, and I don't know why. But no, it's good. That's what they can do. Just search her for there as well. Margaret, thank you for your time this evening. It's been amazing. Lovely to see you again. You're looking well as always. And we'll catch up after my event anyway.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
I mean, look at me. I can't even, I've had the time to shave. I've been a recluse. I haven't left my house for 3 weeks. I look like a was it a black Robinson Crusoe? Remember the Robinson Crusoe guy with a beard?
Yes, with the beard.
But don't worry, I won't be looking like that. I won't be looking like that on Saturday. I promise you that.
You better not.
People won't recognize me.
I know you're gonna look your usual sharp.
Oh, thank you. Have a good evening. And I see you at the weekend. Yeah. All right then.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'm gonna try to be there really early.
Thank you very much. Thanks everybody for coming along. See you. Have a good rest of the evening, and I hope I see you on Saturday. Hope you come. Take care. Have a good evening,
Yes.
everybody. Bye, everyone. Bye, Margaret. Thanks for your
Bye,
time.
everybody. Bye, sweetheart.
Bye.